Let's go.
Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to Strictly Business. We're extremely lucky today to be joined by a founding member of the educational organization Neoteric, Mr. Paras Gupta. How are you, buddy?
Good, buddy. Good. How are you?
I'm good. You're an absolute inspiration for me. He's a good friend of mine, Paras, and we've discussed a lot. He has done a lot of work in the short life he's had so far. I'm sure he's going to do a lot more going forwards. Paras, let's start. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Okay, let's start. Okay, I am from India. I am a resident of a small city in India called Panipat. Currently, I'm a student at University of Warwick, alumni of Doon School. Funny enough, I'm studying civil engineering, planning on pursuing consultancy. A very weird combination, I know. Besides the more formal setting, I'm a huge fan of cricket. I can go days about it. I'm a huge fan of food. I can survive on ice cream, I guess. Yeah, and mostly I have a lot of concerns that I really want to address in my life. One of them being education across the world, and that's what Neoteric is about. It is something that I'm very closely affiliated with because of the background I come from, and for those reasons, yeah, that's about me. I think. Yeah.
We lead straight to Neoteric with this one. Could you tell everyone what is Neoteric? What is Neoteric all about? Go.
So I'm gonna just rewind a bit and be like why we started and give a bit of more background into the formal setting. So I come from a city which is Panipat, and there are approximately 89 schools in the city. Each school is affiliated with CBSE, which is a board of India, and all the teachers and all the schools are in this race to get the marks. So they do not care if your student has any communication skills. They do not care if your student is getting enough opportunities in terms of expressing his opinion, having a dialogue, taking part in extracurricular activities, building those soft skills that are very necessary, I feel, today, because we have faced it. And those schools are not bent on that. They just want the content to be, put down the throats of students, them getting the marks, 99%, making the cuts for most Indian universities, and that's the boast that they talk about. Fortunately, my parents had the understanding and sent me to a boarding school where I did everything but for study. I was involved heavily in sports. I really enjoyed it a lot, and I got the opportunity to have conversation with people across different domains using through MUNs, debates, conferences, even discussions over football matches, just tours, trips, everything. So I felt like there was a need for this to be addressed, and it had to be done in a more economically viable way. So that's where Neoteric comes in. What we try and do is, if you look at an average grade 12, grade 11 student planning a career in, let's say, management, and want to try out organizing some events, but would not have would not have enough people to attend their events, or would not have enough people incentivized to attend their events, and would not be able to do so then. So what Neoteric does is like an online platform where institutions subscribe. So for example, a university like Warwick would subscribe, and all students at Warwick are free to create events on Neoteric. This is one end of the platform. Yeah. The other end of the model is that all these smaller schools that I talked about in Panipat, and let's say countries like South Africa, even Britain for that matter, will have certain similar schools which we will subscribe with, and not just schools, NGOs, refugee groups, sports departments, and everyone within that institution will have access to all these events created. So the ideal situation would be that Neoteric is somewhere that I today, as a member of a society at Warwick, just go and be like, tomorrow we're having a talk by this and this person, this is the Zoom link, and this is what we're going to be doing. Everybody interesting, join. As soon as I put that, everyone who's subscribed to Neoteric, which are all the institutions, all their members will have a notification saying, this is an event happening, feel free to join. Suddenly, all the political barriers, the boundaries across the countries are broken down. There is enough resources, no economic problems for individuals, and institutions are going to pay a minimal amount. And this is just a very easy way to collaborate, I feel, and it can help and impact a lot of students.
So that goal, you'd say, is to bring that opportunity that only students, you'd say, in much better schools or more privileged students get to the masses almost.
Yeah.
In a way of them being able to take those events and have the ability to participate with people across the globe of a similar age, transcending those boundaries that previously stopped them.
Yeah, correct. So I that's actually the best way to put it. I feel a lot of people would argue that there is not a unique selling price to this, or maybe a lot of people can argue that the fact that those students are not interested in it. My counter argument is they've never tried it.
Right.
I mean, if I'm only shown half of the world, I don't know what the other half is like. And as long as I don't explore it, I'm never gonna know if I like it or not. And I think in today's world, it's even more important because knowledge is very easily accessible through the medium of internet. Thanks to COVID, which is very funny I'm saying that, but thanks to COVID, a lot more people have access to internet. It's even more important to share these resources, I feel.
Following this start, obviously this inspiration that you've had, and now you've obviously started and it's up and running, what's the progress been like so far? What stage of the growth of the social enterprise are you guys at? Have you got schools? Have you not got schools? Have you got subscribers? Have you built a pricing scheme? How's it all working out right now?
So I've tested the model in 3 cities across India, and I've also now tested this model within UK. I have a team. We have 4 founding members now. In terms of testing, it's quite efficient. It just requires a bit more time intensiveness in the beginning. Where we are at, I would say we are now finalizing how we want to proceed. Our identity has been established, first more clearly to us and then to individuals that we're going to work with. We're at a position that we have a pricing strategy, and it's going to be very simple. I feel we're going to charge institutions somewhere between £5 to £8 a month, and that's an institution. So University of Warwick will be charged £5 to £8 a month, which is basically nothing. And every student within the University of Warwick will have access to all the events, which are going to be for free. Again, like I said, the idea is not to make profit. The idea is to get education to as many students as we can. And so that's the strategy. And what we target within the coming month is to roll out our online platform, get the website functioning and up and running, and try and get it at least about 50 institutions as soon as we can, because that is a number where we can then actively approach other members saying, we have a database of 50 institutions. Do you want to create an event or not?
It's good that you guys have a set target. I think that is something a lot of early stage entrepreneurs see, and they want to have that target, those goals that they want to work towards to keep things real, to see if they're heading in the right direction. A question I had regarding Neoteric is, obviously you guys have started, things are going on, and by the looks of it, things are going really, really well. The inspiration, the motivation, the drive is there. How scalable do you think this social enterprise is? How far do you see yourself taking this? I mean, you're 18 years old right now, you're running it, you've got co-founding members, you're at university, that's great. But going forward, is this something that's going to be a side hustle? Is this going to be something that becomes your life? How big can this social enterprise really become?
So there are 2 sides of it. How big can it become? How many schools are there in the world? How many universities are there in the world? I mean, how important is education today? The size is not the problem.
Okay.
I think there is enough scope over and beyond to scale it. What's the challenge is that how easily can we make it approachable to people, and how fast can we scale it, and how efficiently can we scale it. In terms of my involvement, right now I'm a University of Warwick student in the first year. I have 3 years ahead of me, which I really want to work around in Neoteric. I do not know, there are going to be a lot of challenges, there are going to be a lot of competition, we're going to have a lot of setbacks, failures. I'm not quite sure as to how long I'm going to take it. But if given the opportunity, I would love to take it as long as I can. Not as a side hustle, it can be a major component of my life. And that's something that I really believe in.
You mentioned competition there and how these challenges are definitely going to be a part of the journey. Let's talk about why Neoteric is different. Why is Neoteric the only organization doing this or doing it better than others? Where is that USP?
I think there are 2 sides to this. One is what sets apart Neoteric is the simple functioning of the model. It is, you cannot approach someone who's not already done all of this with a very complex structure. No, you can't. That is something that you're really going to work on, is how simple can your model be in terms of using operational structure in terms of the concept, in terms of the setup. It is immensely important for it to be very simple. One. The other and the more important USP is I feel like there are a lot of similar platforms which only work on the academic side. There is Khan Academy, there is Coursera, there is EDX, and they solely focus on the academic side, which I feel is not the concern.
Right.
The concern is that does a student in Panipat have the ability to talk to a stranger on a topic?
Right.
I mean, that is something we have to build upon. And I feel like there is a lot of scope because I know of institutions like Intra University in UK, which is a similar setup, which is more in-person workshop-based setup, but only focuses on a local community.
Right.
I feel like people are looking at it from a very smaller standpoint, saying, this is a local community, can people interact amongst themselves? They will. Take the person out of the comfort zone in a safe environment. How is he going to react then? And I feel it will take time, but it will come up. It will come up.
The simple business model and the global scale approach where we want students interacting with people across the globe. Would you say those two are key components to a successful social enterprise or even an enterprise in general, that is having the ability to have a simple model, a simple way to capture and create value for the people you're serving and having that ability to take it global?
See, for me, I feel the only box that social enterprise has to tick is how important is the problem that you're addressing. And then you can have a scale which is local, global, national. It doesn't matter because you're always going to impact society in some positive manner. So is how important is the problem that you're going to address. And I feel like today there are 3 E's which are integral to a country. Okay. It's economy, ecology, and education.
Wow.
And if Neoteric tries and addresses one, I think we're good. I think we're pretty good.
Did you come up with that yourself?
No, I'm not gonna. I think I had a discussion with my friend who brought this up once to me, and it really hit me hard. I think those 3 E's are necessary for any institution, any government, any nation.
This sort of links to the future. You're going forward. We have been speaking about the competition and heading forwards and how you're going to defeat that and get through it all. Now, Paras and I are obviously very good friends, and something we regularly discuss, and he tells me about in conversation, is how the best in the business, those at the top of the organizations, those who own the organizations, are always those who are thinking and planning, way further in advance than everyone else, those at lower levels of hierarchy in organizations are. So there is an interesting quote actually that you always tell me, if you want to let everyone hear that one.
I think we're good with that one, but it's just the quote is it is very simple, honestly. All it says is, if you're a CEO, you're managing 40 years from now, and if you're just a worker, you're thinking about the next meal, and that's the difference. That's the difference.
So the difference is the time scale
that you're thinking about. Yeah.
So it's those are the best at thinking
way ahead. Yeah.
Way ahead. And that's why they're on top. That's why they're successful.
I feel so.
Okay. So that links then perfectly to my next question to you. If you are going to be the best in the business, if Neoteric is going to be a social enterprise that impacts people and changes the world, then what is the plan going forwards?
So there is a three-point plan that we worked on, which is a 1-year plan, a 10-year plan, and a 20-year plan. The 1-year plan is the one we are focusing on because we're still not operational, which is very important for us to be operational before we can create a 10-year plan and 20-year plan. Within the 1 year, it is very fundamental. We need to target 5 countries. We get as many institutions as we can, get as many subscribers as we can, get the operational running, and see the kind of impact we have, right? How many people are benefiting from the events that we're doing? One of the challenges is going to be how we're going to measure the quality of the events. How good are they, and how valuable are they? In the 10-year plan, it is, can Neoteric be a connecting point for institutions? Okay. We talk about how some institutions affiliated with IB, affiliated with IGCSE, ISC, can they be affiliated with Neoteric? Can and a corporate and I think all good schools need to, and all good universities need to, because that's how you give back to the society. In a 20-year plan, is there any way that this can be the upcoming educational model?
Wow.
I mean, I'm no one to say. I'm literally doing my education right now. I have no understanding of the educational sector. I have no background in it. I have zero. I just feel that maybe this is the way forward. I mean, if you look at other sectors, how important it has become to kind of integrate your thought with people around you. Look at the environmental problems these days. Look at India for now. The farmers' protest. How important it is for the law to be integrated with the communities which are local in nature. So how important is education then to be integrated with them as well? And yeah, that's the thing that we're trying to address.
Well, I wish you the best of luck going forward. I think that is extremely inspirational for someone who is our age, 18, to be going around with
Yeah,
good
I think
thoughts.
I think it's a very serious conversation. At the end of the day, it's all about playing cricket with the buddies.
I mean, that's true as well, but of course, we can't forget that Paras is honestly a true inspiration for us all. I think the work he's doing alongside his team members is absolutely fantastic. Any final words, any last advice that you think anyone, be it social enterprise, job, career, whatever it is, any advice you think that has served you well going, so far? I mean, you seem to be doing very well for yourself. And what's been the driving force for you?
There are two driving forces. My mom's been my driving force, and she says two things which are very interesting. One is, if you have half a cup of tea, you can only offer half a cup of tea. So if you're not happy yourself, you're not going to make people around you happy, and that's very important. I mean, we try and do a lot, but if we don't have it within us, how are we going to give? And the other is that, and this is something I really believe in, is if things go according to you, good, if not better. And they do happen for the best. You don't have to push them, they will happen for the best.
Obviously, that comes with hard work and
Yeah,
determination.
I mean that goes along. I mean, it's always a 90% hard work, 5% fate, 5% luck. But believe in the 5% fate being in your way.
This has been very insightful, Paras. I've really enjoyed this. I hope you guys have as well. And we will catch you later with some more. Thank you very much.
Before we end, I would like to say, it is more important. I'm just gonna give credit to Kush here. A brilliant idea to get stories across, not just for students who are listening to us, is also because for us as well, to get the stories out there. It makes us more clear in the head as what we are doing, and it's only going to impact us all more positively. I guess I think it's a very good idea, and I totally believe that if you want to get more of such stuff, subscribe to the channel today. It is the need of the hour to listen to such stories, I feel. Yeah.
Well, I mean, what more can I say? I really appreciate this, Paras. Thank you so much for joining me on Strictly Business. Guys, stay tuned for much more of this coming your way. Thank you.